Good evening and welcome to the Township of Clark Council meeting. It's Monday, December 15th, 7:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hoff. Here. Councilmember Hund.
Here.
Councilmember Mazzarella.
Here.
Councilmember Manitti.
Here.
Councilmember O'Connor.
Here.
Councilmember Toll.
Here.
Council President Smith.
Here. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, as adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by mailing the annual schedule of meetings to the Star-Ledger, the Leader, Union County Local Source, and Tappan to Clark, by posting such annual meeting schedule on the bulletin board in Town Hall reserved for such announcements, the official website of the Township, and the proper filing of said notice. Formal action may be taken at this meeting.
Great, thank you. Can I get a motion to suspend the regular order of business?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Toll, and second, Councilmember Hund. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. All right, we're going to do the swearing in of the mayor and council member at large. So, Mayor Albanese.
Have my son James and my nephew Michael join me.
Welcome.
You want to hold
Here's
the
the
Bible?
Bible. Right hand in the air. I, Angel Albanese,
I, Angel Albanese,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of mayor
all the duties of the office of mayor
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
for the Township of Clark,
for the Township of Clark,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you very much. All right.
Do you want to do Jess? Yes.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask Jess Hoff to join me, along with her family. Is that everyone? Everyone coming up?
We're going to limit it to 5. No, 4.
No need. And let me ask, who's going to hold the Bible?
Oh, Lucy's already full.
Right hand up. Okay, repeat after me. The oath of allegiance. I, Jessica Hoff,
I, Jessica Hoff,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States and in this state,
in the United States and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly perform
impartially, and justly perform
all the duties of the office of
all the duties of the office of
Councilwoman at Large,
Councilwoman at Large,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
for the Township of Clark,
for the Township of Clark,
so help me God.
so help me God.
So we can get back to Business.
All right, before we begin the meeting, if the families would like to stay, you're more than welcome. If anybody would like to leave, you're more than welcome to leave. I'll take 30 seconds if anybody wants to get up. All right, great. I'm glad to see you're all going to stay. Up, except a few. Okay, can I get a motion to resume regular order of business?
Moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Mazzarella. Can I get a second? Thank you, Councilmember Hoff. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We're going to go to communications from the mayor and reports of township officers. Mayor Albanese, congratulations, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Of course, it was an honor for me to be sworn in as mayor this evening to serve our Clark. To the citizens of Clark, particularly those who voted for me, thank you for your trust in me. You're the reason I do this work. I've said it before, your voices, your concerns, your hopes for your families and our community have guided every decision and every step we take. I promise to honor that trust by listening, leading with transparency, and working tirelessly for every resident, no matter who you voted for. I represent all the citizens of this town. Once again, I congratulate Councilwoman Hoff on her election and wish her the best. So getting back to business, I'll talk about branches first. The branch pickups are done. If you have branches left, you'll have to put them, store them maybe to the side of your house or the rear or in your yard until we have the spring pickup. Right now, we're finishing up our leaf collection. Very satisfied with everything that DPW has been doing. So we thank them for their hard work. And yesterday we had some snow. We were hoping it was going to be a dusting. It was a little bit more than that. And as always, we wait until the snow stops. So we didn't get a start until about 10:30 in the morning. And that continued until every street was done. If there is a situation where your snow isn't plowed, please report a concern, call us, and we will take care of it. Since we last met in November, unfortunately on Thanksgiving we had a power outage. Thankfully, it was resolved by public service within 4 hours, and we're sorry that so many families were disrupted by it, but thankfully it was resolved. As for the holiday festivities, I want to thank all the volunteers and organizations that decorated the town hall. Looks amazing if you haven't seen all the Christmas trees decorated, and the recreation center, which has had a lot of activities these past few weeks, especially with basketball season starting and travel basketball really gearing up. The holiday tree lighting event was a great success. Thank you to all who donated funds, their time. The weather was great. Everyone had a chance to visit with Santa and enjoy the student choirs and bands that performed as well. For the Breakfast with Santa, we had over 1,000 children and adults in attendance for 3 seatings. Everyone was able to be fed their breakfast and visit with Santa and take a picture. So it was a very wonderful day. The following week, we had our senior Christmas luncheon, which was attended by approximately 300 seniors, and everyone appreciating the wonderful time that they had that day. Thank you to Nicole and Christina, who are here tonight, who worked so hard on these events, making sure that everyone had reservations and were seated and taken care of. Also want to thank those who donated toiletries to the veterans and Toys for Tots. This year, for our annual council and township food drive, we extended it this year, and thank you all for your donations, which were very plentiful. Moving on to other business matters, tonight we'll be voting, the council will be voting on the ordinance to change our meeting schedule, so we'll be having 2 meetings a month here in the chambers. And that will be a big help to the township in terms of paying bills and taking care of issues that need to be addressed in a more timely manner. The planning board met on December 4th. We had several citizens attend, and there was a lot of discussion about it because it involved the A&P Downtown Village project. And the property is known as Clark Broadway Associates LLC, Urban Renewal LLC. It's a little confusing. Sometimes people get confused, who is this other company? Well, when you have a separate redevelopment, you usually have to call it an urban renewal company, so an LLC is formed. So I see that some people are confused with that. Anyway, to summarize, the Planning Board approved the development of the A&P property. We'll be building 138 apartments with commercial space on the first floor, which will be facing Westfield Avenue. 21 of the units will go towards our affordable housing, which was identified in the third round of redevelopment. And I just want to say that probably, I've seen a lot of different comments regarding the redevelopment, a lot of confusion, and it is very confusing. So at the end of January or February, I'll have a town hall meeting on redevelopment, explain some of the basics, and try to separate truth from fiction so that everyone can have at least some general understanding of what's happening. Tonight, we'll be asking council to add another resolution onto the agenda regarding our mediation agreement before the Affordable Housing Dispute Resolution Group. And I think I'll just continue and explain a little bit about that. You may recall that we entered into an order on March 8th of 2025, which indicated that we had a present need for 71 units related to previous obligations in the up to the third round, which covered, the third round covered the building that would be done from 1999 to 2025, so over 25 years. And that round had 71 units left that needed to be built. On top of that, as you recall, last year in '24, we were asked for another round to be added by the state. And that came, we were assigned 166 units. That covers the next 10 years, 2025 to 2035, bringing us to a total of, with those 166 units, 237 units to be filed with the Housing Element and Fair Share Plan by June 30th, 2025. So we had to identify where we were going to build these units. Some of the properties that were identified are properties that exist and already have buildings on them. But this is where, if they were to be sold, we would have redevelopment performed. This plan was challenged on August 31st, 2025, and we were required to submit a vacant land adjustment by October 27th, 2025. And we also were asked to report on other issues that were raised in the plan that we had. All of this being said, after several meetings over the past 2 months, 3 months, I'm pleased to say that on Friday afternoon, December 13th, we reached an agreement with the Fair Share Housing Center, and the master of the court accepted it, and includes a list of conditions that we need to follow, which are we plan to follow and we feel were reasonable, and that's what we're recommending that the council take a look at tonight, have a supermajority, add the resolution to the agenda, and to pass on that. And that concludes my comments for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Huff.
Yes, thank you. Report from the library for December. In November, the library had over 8,400 visitors and recorded 22,385 website and social media visits. The library is so excited, I wish my sister was still here, to introduce Tonys. These are screen-free audio players. I know, it's very exciting. So if your children are into that, or if you don't know what it is, I strongly encourage you, screen-free stories. And there's some next level for older kids as well that they have. It's a great hands-on way to get music and reading into your kid's life. And they're available to borrow from the library. They're having several winter events. They're having bingo Tuesday, January 6th. There's family play January 10th, all-you-can craft buffet January 15th. For adults and teens, they have Unraveled Teens and Adults Knitting and Crochet Night, which is taking place Tuesday, January 20th at 7 p.m. And teen cooking, they're doing a hot cocoa bar on Monday, January 26th at 3:30. All of these events are available on their website and on their social media pages, and I encourage everyone to please check them out. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Hund.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the Clark Police Department monthly report for November 2025. We saw a total of 1,757 calls, 654 which came in via 911 calls for services including but not limited to 141 ambulance requests, 57 alarm calls, 2 arrival calls with mental health requests, 50 fire department requests, 14 fraud, identity thefts, 6 motor vehicle and residential lockouts, 59 motor vehicle accidents, and 28 shoplifting and thefts. There was a total of 26 adult arrests, including but not limited to 5 for warrants, 15 for shoplifting, 2 for driving under the influence, and 1 for robbery. The Youth Aid Bureau handled a total of 10 cases, including but not limited to 2 for harassment, 1 for weapons, and 7 for all others. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Mazzarella.
Yes, thank you, Council President. This is my DPW report for this evening. As the mayor mentioned, branch pickup is complete for 2025. Please do not put branches on your leaf piles or on the roadway. They will not be picked up. DPW has made multiple attempts throughout the township to pick up these branches. All branches must remain on your property until the springtime. Please remember that. Leaf pickup, final pickup started today, December 15th. No branches, plastic bags, rakes, flower pots, etc., to be placed in the leaf piles. So please refrain from doing that. Electronic drop-off will resume January 31st, 2026, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the DPW building behind this building. ID will be required. Tree evaluations are complete for 2025. Please do not request the tree evaluation until the spring of 2026 when the leaves start to bloom, the trees start to bloom. Christmas tree pickup starts January 5th and will end on January 26th, 2026. Please remove all decorations and tree stands and no plastic bags, please. And please remove all basketball and soccer nets from the roadway. There is a township ordinance that prohibits items of this nature on the roadway. It will also prevent damage to our equipment and avoid accidental damage on your property, and make the roads safer and allow DPW to sweep and plow our roads thoroughly and efficiently. And for more information, contact dpw@ourclark.com. DPW wishes to extend all the residents of our community a happy and healthy holiday season and a happy new year. Thank you. That's the extent of my report.
Thank you. Councilmember Minetti.
Thank you, Council President. In the month of November, the Clark Fire Department responded to 51 calls, bringing the total to the year for 594. The incidents included but are not limited to 1 for fire-related, 4 for rescue and EMS, 9 for hazardous conditions, 7 for services and good intent calls, 22 related for false alarms, and 2 for special incidents. The Clark Fire Department is looking for new members. If anyone you know, or if anyone is interested, or you know anyone interested in joining the department, please contact the fire department through their website at clarkfd.info. Finally, through the efforts of Chief Sarasa, Santa will be coming back to Clark on Saturday between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. They'll be driving around town with the members of the Clark Fire Department. Also, the Clark Fire Department has asked me to remind people, if you want a picture with Santa, Saturday, December 20th, from 4:30 to 5:30 at the Clark Fire Headquarters, 250 Broadway. And on behalf of, as always, I would like to thank the members of the Clark Fire Department for their hard work and dedication in keeping the town safe. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember O'Connor.
Thank you. From the Finance Committee, the Township continues to be able to meet its current obligations. Thank you, Jim, and your team. From the Clark Volunteer Emergency Squad, the mayor and I had the opportunity to attend their installation awards dinner, where the mayor swore in the new executive board and officers, which I'm about to announce now. President is Mike Gennaro. Vice President, Charlie Poisik Sr. Treasurer, David Newby. Recording Secretary, Charlie Poisik Jr. Corresponding Secretary, Susan Alachi. Trustee, Lori Sheldon. Lorraine Pedraza. Anne Marie Kroc. And Captain, Catherine Sheldon. Assistant Captain, Michael Hakowski. First Lieutenant, Yash Dixit. Second Lieutenant, Brian Bucko. First Sergeant, Austin Fooney. Second Sergeant, Sophia Downing. Third Sergeant, Sharif Khan. Again, the squad continues to give the town a lot of their time. In December, to date, their calls were 28. Year-to-date so far, 1,339 calls. And some of their activities that they did were continuing the continuing education programs, Easter egg hunt, 9/11 service, Veterans Day, Clark tree decorating, ALJ football standbys, blood drives, Clark Memorial Parade, Clark Trunk or Treat, Clark tree lighting, ALJ graduations, and Unical Festival standby. So again, they give a lot of their time to the township. I want to thank everybody and wish them a happy holiday. And that concludes my report. Oh, one other thing, sorry. I want to congratulate Lori Sheldon. Save the best for last. So Lori was awarded the EMS Volunteer Lifetime Achievement Award at the National Conference on EMS in Atlantic City. Lori is a 42-year member of the Clark Volunteer Emergency Squad, where she has been a line officer, executive board member, and president. Again, Lori, congratulations on this outstanding award. Well-deserved. You've given a lot to the town. Your children give a lot to the town. Your husband was a fire chief at the volunteer fire department. So again, to you and your family, thank you for all the volunteerism that you guys do, and congratulations on this great award. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Toll.
No report tonight, Mr. President. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, from the Recreation Department, the annual tree menorah lighting was another fantastic event. I want to congratulate Ralph for putting that together. We also like to thank all the volunteers, especially the ALJ Key Club, the CESA students, the Assaul family, and the Unico members, all for volunteering. The deadline for the house decorating is 12 p.m. tonight, so you have a little over 4 hours to register your house. If you're interested, go to the ourclark.com website, and winners will be presented this Friday, December 19th. Indoor soccer begins Friday, January 2nd, and Saturday, January 3rd at the Brewer Recreation Gyms. And two upcoming events, two actually popular upcoming events. The Family Skate Night at Warrenanko Park will be Saturday, January 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. Tickets can be purchased on our Clark website, and you click on a QR code, and it's $5 per person. And Clark Night with the New Jersey Devils will be Thursday, January 29th at 7 p.m. at the Prudential Center in Newark. Purchase tickets, you actually have to go to the New Jersey Devils website under Clark Recreation, and there'll be a QR code for you to register and buy the tickets. There'll be giveaway drawstring bags to everyone who attends, and at the end of the hockey game, there'll be a chance to take a post-game photo on the ice, which is always a neat photo that Ralph displays. And lastly, registration for winter classes is now open, and all information is on the Clark website. All right, all reports and everything discussed up here will be on the Township website. At this time, we'll move on to ordinances, appropriations, and claims.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the record, no objections have been received in connection with the proposed ordinances. First ordinance is 25-34, an ordinance amending Chapter 255 entitled Property Maintenance, Article 6 entitled Vacant and Abandoned Property of the Code of the Township of Clark to establish a vacancy determination process and notice and cure requirement.
All right, thank you. At this time, I will open the meeting for the public hearing on this ordinance and this ordinance only. If anyone would like to come forward, you'll have 5 minutes in duration. Please state your name and town you reside in. Okay, seeing no one coming up for this public hearing, I'd like a motion to close the public hearing. So moved. Thank you, Councilmember O'Connor, and second, Councilmember Hun. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, at this time, I need to adopt the ordinance. Can I get a motion?
Yes, I'd like to move it.
Thank you, Councilmember Mazzarella. Can I get a second?
I'll second that, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilmember Toll. Any discussion? Jim, do you have anything to add on this?
Yeah, just some background. This ordinance is being put in place so we, as the title says, we have a process, determine that it's vacant, send them a letter, make sure that it is, responded to before we take any action on vacant property. This is actually part of a state law to track vacant properties, and it's been since the foreclosure issues, and, we're just following the state law, and we're enhancing the procedure a little bit more.
Great, thank you. All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hoff.
Yes.
Councilmember Hund.
Yes.
Councilmember Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilmember Manitti.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilmember Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted. Next is ordinance 25-35, an ordinance to amend Chapter 347 entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 25 entitled Parking Prohibited at All Times of the Code of the Township of Clark.
Okay, at this time, I'll open up this ordinance to the public hearing. If anyone would like to come forward on this ordinance. All right, seeing no one, a motion to close the public hearing. Thank you, Councilmember Manitti. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Mazzarella. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, can I get a motion to adopt the ordinance?
I'll move that, please.
Thank you, Councilmember O'Connor. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilmember Toll. Any discussion? Anybody have questions for the BA, or Jim, do you have anything to add? It's pretty self-explanatory.
Cellar Avenue, recommended by the Traffic Committee.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hoff.
Yes.
Councilmember Hund.
Yes.
Councilmember Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilmember Manitti.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilmember Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted. Next is ordinance 25-36, an ordinance to amend section 161-47 entitled Fees and section 161-48 entitled Fire Watch of Chapter 161 entitled Fire Prevention of Article 8 entitled Enforcement of Uniform Fire Safety Act of Part 2 entitled General Legislation.
Okay, again, I'd like to open up this ordinance for the public hearing. If anyone would like to come forward on this ordinance only. Okay, seeing no one, I need a motion to close the public hearing. Thank you, Councilmember O'Connor. Second, Councilmember Hun. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, at this time, I need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
I'll move that.
Thank you, Councilmember Manitti. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Councilmember Mazzarella. Anybody have questions or discussion? Jim, anything?
Yeah, this is all on the recommendation of the fire chief. We haven't updated our fire fees in over 25 years. So this is, and most of these fees are still less than the surrounding communities.
Great, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hoff.
Yes.
Councilmember Hund.
Yes.
Councilmember Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilmember Manitti.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilmember Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted. Next is ordinance 25-37, an ordinance to amend Section 3-11, entitled Regular Meetings, of Article 5, entitled Township Council Meetings, of Chapter 3, entitled Administration of Government, of Part 1, entitled Administrative Legislation.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'll open up this ordinance to the public hearing, if anyone would like to come forward.
Good evening, John Grease from Clark. I'm happy that this ordinance is passing, or is up to be passed, because it means that previously we had workshop meetings that weren't recorded, and now we're going to have 2 regular meetings that will both be recorded, so I like the improved transparency. But there's 2 things that I was hoping, maybe it's not going to be tonight, but could be added in the near future. I would like to see that special meetings are also recorded. I think that's important. That's where we also spend our tax dollars, and I think that the public should be able to see that. And one other thing is I think that, you know, it's 2025. I think that having some technological advances where people can participate in meetings from home with Zoom or whatever the video conferencing thing is, so that, you know, they can make comments. So like tonight, I actually have to go pick up my son. I might not be able to be here for the whole meeting. If I was able to do that on Zoom or make comments on Zoom, that would really make things easier. And I know there's a lot of people also in town that would feel the same. So those are suggestions and comments I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Anyone else like to come forward? All right, seeing no one, a motion to close the public hearing. Thank you, Councilmember Hoff. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Councilmember O'Connor. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? At this time, I think we're going to do entire council to adopt the ordinance. Is everyone okay with that? Yep. All right, so entire council, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
Jim or Mayor Albanese, you have anything to add on that? I think you said it would be much better for the township to run business-wise.
The mayor has said it all in her report.
Great, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hoff.
Yes.
Councilmember Hund.
Yes.
Councilmember Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilmember Minetti.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilmember Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted. Next is ordinance 25-38, an ordinance to amend section 347-33 entitled Stop Intersections of Article 5 entitled Traffic Regulations, of Chapter 347 entitled Vehicles and Traffic, of Part 2 entitled General Legislation.
Thank you. At this time, I'll open up the meeting to the public hearing for this ordinance. If anyone would like to come forward on this ordinance and this ordinance only, please do so. All right, seeing no one, a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Toll, and second, Councilmember Hund. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Toll. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilmember Minetti. Any questions or discussion? Jim, you have anything to add? It's pretty black and white, Kennedy Drive, Fairview.
Covered it all.
All right, there we go. So glad we're finally putting those in. All right, can I get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Hoff.
Yes.
Councilmember Hund.
Yes.
Councilmember Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilmember Minetti.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilmember Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted.
Great, thank you. All right, payment of claims, Councilman O'Connor.
Thank you. I have reviewed the bills for the month totaling $581,860.12.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll move on to citizens' hearing on the agenda. I'll open a meeting to the public. The public comment portion of the meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments in accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the Code of the Township of Clark. Each person addressing the council shall give their name and address, name and town in which they reside to the clerk. All remarks shall be addressed to the council as a body and shall not exceed 5 minutes in duration. At the conclusion of the statements or questions from the member of the public, the council president, at his or her discretion, may choose to respond or not respond. If anyone would like to come forward, please do so.
Nancy Twaskis, Clark. With the change in the schedule of the meeting, I think I can discuss that now.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I know the one meeting used to be considered a workshop meeting, and the other meeting was the regular meeting. Will there be a workshop meeting and a regular meeting twice a month, or there'll be just a meeting starting at 7:30 and?
There will not be a workshop meeting per se, so each meeting will be the first and third Monday of the month.
Okay.
We're going to conduct the business that way, because most of the stuff we discuss at the workshop meeting, we now do it 2 weeks later at the public meeting.
Okay, I just
So
wanted
I know
to,
Jim brought it up a couple, when he first came on board, to go to 2 meetings, and I know Mayor Albanese mentioned it as well. Well, she was a council member, so we thought it was a good idea, and I know Jim pushed us pretty hard to go to it, and we were fine with that.
okay. The only reason I wanted clarification on it, at the county meetings, they have the workshop first, which lasts a certain amount of time, and then it rolls into, and it really makes, sometimes for a very long evening to do back-to-back like that. So it'll just be a town council meeting twice a month.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you, Nancy. Thank you for clarifying. All right, at this time, I'd like a motion to close this portion. Thank you, Councilmember O'Connor. Get a second? Thank you, Councilmember Hund. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. All right, Madam Clerk, when you're ready, we move to consent agenda resolutions.
Following items are considered routine and non-controversial items by the Township Council and will be enacted upon by one motion. There will be no separate vote on these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda to be discussed and voted on following the approval of the remaining items listed on the consent agenda. Resolution 218, approving the 2026 council meeting schedule. 219, approving the 2026 holiday calendar. 220 is authorizing the mayor and/or business administrator to execute the 2026 Risk Management Consultants Agreement as required by the New Jersey Municipal Self-Insurers Joint Insurance Fund with World Insurance Associates. Resolution 2021 is refunding Certificate of Compliance number 2025-00154 for 52 Broadway in the amount of $125. 222 is authorizing the tax collector to make the proper adjustments for 100% property tax exemption of Block 182, Lot 1, in accordance with a directive from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. 223 is authorizing the tax collector to refund overpayment of taxes in the amount of $13,803.04. 224 is seeking approval of the Director of the Division of Local Government Services for insertion of a special item of revenue in the amount of $15,450 for the Childhood Lead Exposure Prevention Project grant. Resolution 225 is authorizing the provision of a grant pursuant to the Township of Clark Affordability Assistance Program for the tenant of an affordable housing unit located at 35 Walnut Avenue, Unit 205.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So moved, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilmember Toll. Can I get a second?
Yes, I'll second it.
Thank you, Councilmember Mazzarella. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hoff.
Yes.
Councilmember Hund.
Yes.
Councilmember Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilmember Manitti.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilmember Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes. Okay, when you're ready, we can move to resolution, the one resolution, number 14.
Okay. Resolution number 226 is authorizing the transfer of funds within the 2025 municipal budget.
Can I get a motion, please?
I'd like to move that, please.
Thank you, Councilmember O'Connor. Get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilmember Manitti. Any discussion or questions? Just basic transfers, Jim, as normal year-end?
Yeah, it's normal year-end, and it's to the fire department for about, for $13,000 into 2 of their accounts for pretty much all repairs and maintenance on vehicles.
Great, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hoff.
Yes.
Councilmember Hund. Councilmember Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilmember Manitti.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilmember Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes. All right, looks like we have some new business on the calendar.
Yes, we have one item of new business, ratifying Mayor Albanese's execution of a mediation agreement with Fair Share Housing Center.
All right, can I have a motion to add the resolution to the agenda?
I'll move that, please.
Thank you, Councilmember Hunt. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Councilmember Manitti. Any discussion or roll call? I just want to thank our BA Jim and Mayor Albanese for the multiple meetings and hours you put in with the Fair Share Housing Center and coming to a resolution and an agreement that's fair to the town. So you have anything to add to that?
I just want to also, in addition to thanking Jim for all his hard work, thank our specialists, especially Paul Rickey, our planner. Yeah, it was very, very difficult, especially initially having so many towns having to comply in January of '25 in such a short period over the holidays. Also like to thank Rich O'Connor and also Jeff Serinian, our legal counsel, who was involved and was a big help. Thank you.
Great, thank you. You have anything, Jim?
Yeah, I just want to give some high points on what is in the agreement. I mean, everybody's seen the agreement on council, but this is, this is a court-recognized framework for compliance with the Fair Share Housing Act. We are, going to implement, additional ordinances, like the mayor said, resolutions, and, potentially some additional planning actions, specifically designating areas or an area in need of redevelopment, provided it actually complies with the terms. The biggest part of this is that it gives us protection from builders' remedy lawsuits. It's, so this way it protects us from exclusionary zoning and challenges from builders for a builder's remedy, providing zoning and planning activities. Once it's approved by the court, it's binding on the township, its officials, and the board. So that's the zoning board, planning board, and, council officials. And, right now, we had 93 prior round units, which were addressed under our 2016 settlement. And the combined prior third round gives us 263 requirement. Clark has credit for 262 units, and this is what we've been discussing. We have a shortfall of 1 that the Fair Share Housing Corp was okay with, but we had, I can't tell you how many hours over 1 unit discussions. The township agreed with Fair Share Housing that the 1 unit shortfall could be addressed in a couple of ways: adding a bedroom to an existing group home, adding 1 affordable unit to an unbuilt site, or capturing 1 unit via the mandatory 20% set aside. And, the other thing is, the 4th round, we only had a plan for 49 of the 166 units, so approximately 25%. And it's going to be its statutory housing mix of age-restricted of 30%, at least 50% are going to be family units, at least 25% rental units, 13% very low-income units. And one of the reasons why I need to put this on the agenda is we agreed with Fair Share Housing that we would have a draft compliance document, and this all signed by January 1st. So we don't have another meeting before January 1st, and that's why I'm asking to have this added. March 15, adoption of all ordinances, and April 15th of 2026, filing for final compliance certification. And in addition to that, we have to do our annual reporting to the DCA through Ames, and that's no change. We do that now anyway. So in summary, the agreement locks in the compliance. It limits our litigation risk and preserves our local zoning control. We satisfied a vast majority of our 3rd round obligations, and the 4th round plan is defensible and agreed to by Fair Share Housing. So, I mean, we did a lot of work to make this acceptable to both Fair Share Housing and the township.
Thank you.
If I could add one thing that was very critical when we had the meeting, the planning board meeting regarding the A&P property. If we didn't go ahead and approve that, we would have lost 21 bonus credits. So you see in the document, we got 66 bonus credits by moving ahead with everything. So that was 21 of those 66. And so thank you to the planning board and for going ahead with that.
Great, thank you for the summary. Can I get a motion to adopt the resolution?
Council President, I'd like
Just
to ask
need a
that we
roll-
see this.
Should everyone find with the entire council on this?
Mr. President,
Yes.
we still need a roll call on adding
Oh,
it to the agenda.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hoff.
Yes.
Councilmember Hund.
Yes.
Councilmember Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilmember Minetti.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilmember Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes. All right, now a motion to adopt the resolution. It looks like the council's in agreement to do an EC for entire council.
Okay.
All right, so just roll call, please.
Councilmember Hoff.
Yes.
Councilmember Hund.
Yes.
Councilmember Mazzarella.
Yes.
Councilmember Minetti.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilmember Toll.
Yes.
Council President Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll move to public comments. I'll open the meeting to the public. Public comment portion of the meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments in accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the Code of the Township of Clark. Each person addressing the council shall give their name and the town in which they reside to the clerk. All remarks shall be addressed to the council as a body and shall not exceed 5 minutes in duration. At the conclusion of the statements or questions from a member of the public, the council president, his or her discretion, may choose to respond or not respond. If anyone would like to come forward, please do so.
Good evening, John Grease from Clark again. First, I want to say congratulations again to Mayor Albanese and Councilwoman Hoff. I'm glad that you guys are willing to do a good job for the town. I also wanted to say thank you for fixing that spot of the road on Valley and Parkway. It got fixed. I was just hoping maybe we can get the crosswalk painted there, but it's much, 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 much improved. So thank you so much for that. So two other things. Recently there was another article about the situation with the police officers that we have in town. I don't want to relitigate how we got here, but I would like to see if there's any plan, or basically people don't really know what's going on, and I've heard a lot of comments, and I also have a lot of questions, and I'd just like to see if there's any ideas about how we're going to move forward with that. And then also, it's good that we have development going on at the AMP property. And I was definitely happy to hear Ms. Minetti, push for some additional retail space there, because I think that having the downtown village is important to have retail space there. I know that we've talked about it. It seems like there's probably going to be a pilot there. So what I wanted to ask is there a way that we can negotiate that pilot so that the schools get something that benefits them over the long term, at least over the term of that 30 years. I know that pilots are flexible. The town basically has a ton of discretion as to what they ask and include in the pilot. So I'm not sure what you guys were thinking, but maybe I know that we have the new preschool that was set up and we've had some issues with space. Maybe that builder can help with some of the space, adding some space in some of the buildings somewhere, something like that. Basically, I'd like to see if, I know that you may be negotiating that sometime in the near future, if you can make sure that something is negotiated for our schools within that agreement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Greaves.
This far, you're in good shape. Congratulations to our new mayor. My name is Carmine Sarasa. I've been a resident of Clark for 37 years, and my kids went through the school system. One is teaching in Scotch Plains now, and the other is working in Pennsylvania. I'll leave it at that. Don't want to get into the job. I came really to ask for your help. And it sounds simple, I know, but helping, or you write a letter for me to Good Tidings and Complete Care, the nursing home. I live at 1684 Westfield Avenue and at Woodcrest. And those two, Good Tidings and the nursing home, are my backyard, in effect. I'm on the second floor, but that's my backyard. I'll back up to the 37 years in Clark, a great, literally great, not good, but great neighbors. One on my right, one on my left, one in the rear. No problem whatsoever. We helped each other. Anyone had or needed help, the other was there. So what I'd like to do is to have you speak to those responsible there and let them know that it's not just an empty warehouse behind them now. There are people living in there, and they're in my backyard, so they're my neighbor. Specifically, though, as I was going through the policy, and the best I can do is to tell you that it was the policy on noise, and that's chapter 223, and I'm referring to paragraph I regarding noise, and truthfully, I'm not really interested in whether I'm not going to hear boom boxes or not. That's in there, boom boxes. I'm talking about 20,000-pound dumpsters. Specifically, the delivery of the unit to those locations, in between the filling, of course, and then the pickup of that same container. If you haven't heard it, you should. I can't record it. And not to be too funny about it, as my wife said, my wife of 65 years said, dropping me off, button it, don't get yourself in trouble. So I'm not. Because when that thing drops, it's not just noise, it's thunder. And I'm not joking when I say I jump with them. And the delivery, the filling, of course, I understand business is business. But the pickup is the same thing. What I'm looking for is some relief with your help as to the times. Now, the times are specified in the policy on noise. Times are not important to me in this sense. It is rather in compliance with the ordinance, sure, and then with some common sense and being a good neighbor, speak to your contractors about the time that these events take place with an eye towards not that early in the morning. For the most part, it's not that bad. We seem to go through seasons with it. An example, the last 2 weeks has been great. So there's some kind of slowdown in their activity, and great. But then there are other times when it's a fairly regular, not every day, certainly not at all. Maybe even not even during a 2-week period. But it's just to have those folks be aware of the fact not to overdo it. If a contractor can't possibly deliver or pick up any later than he is today, maybe seeing or reading a letter from town council will have the contractor, think twice about the change in hours. The hours are very specific in your ordinance, so I'm just asking for help from the neighbors to possibly make it a little bit later on the pickups and delivery.
May I interrupt you for 1 second?
Sure.
Yeah, are you talking about the garbage pickup with the big dumpsters? Or just general trucks coming in and out?
Garbage as opposed.
Mostly the garbage?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. President, Mr. Strauss and I have spoken quite a few times on the phone, so I I made the mayor and the BA aware, and so I'll be able to better explain to you a little more in depth about some of the issues he's been having. It's not just the containers, it's throwing, commercial type water heaters into a metal dumpster at 4:30 in the morning, right? It's, yeah. How we talked about when they throw the big water heaters into the metal dumpster at 4 o'clock in the morning and it wakes you up, right? Things like that.
No, not 4 o'clock. No, absolutely not. I think, and I don't know their business, but I think that the contractor, if contacted by their
All right, Mr. Sarasa, I know Councilman O'Connor brought it up to the business administrator and mayor, so we'll have Councilmember O'Connor get back to you hopefully in the near future on what we can do and what letters we can send and how we can address this with both good tidings and complete care for you. And we'll get back to you on that.
Sure, that would be great.
Okay, appreciate it.
One thing to add to that very approach, last year it was my understanding, right or wrong, that someone from the management company at Woodcrest did send a letter to, I think, the council, and whatever was done then worked. It worked for a long period of time.
All right.
Maybe it will work again.
All right.
Certainly work with Pat O'Connor. And I must caution Pat, you have to really do well by me. My mother's maiden name, Helen Riley. So, that'll be good.
Great.
I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much for attending tonight. Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Take care. And if I get back there.
Good evening, Delia Collins, Clark. I attended the planning board meeting regarding the property on Westfield Avenue. They did show the plans that the moving vans would be parked on Westfield Avenue, and I travel that area quite frequently, and there's deliveries on the opposite side sometimes during the week with bigger trucks. And I was just wondering, would it be up to the town to suggest a cutout in the sidewalk near where these moving vans are going to be parked? Or would there be some type of time frame that these moving vans could park there? Because I'm sure they will jut out into the traffic flow on Westfield Avenue going towards like west or east, whatever. And I saw it one day when something was being delivered at one of the retail stores, and it was a big truck, and it impeded traffic heading towards Rawway, and people had to come into the opposite lane to pass this large truck. I don't know. I know the planning board only hears plans and makes sure that the developer adheres to township guidelines and ordinances. But I didn't know if the town could bring in some type of stipulation that these moving vans could only park there for a certain amount of time and a certain amount of hours. Because it does get crowded when the students get released in the different schools and people are traveling up and down Westfield Avenue. The other item I wanted to bring up was I was thankful for the mention of that area becoming more residential and not commercial, like Mr. Minetti had said, that That's what that area, part of that area was intended for, to bring commerce into the town. And with the small area that the developer put aside for commercial, it really isn't bringing anything into the area other than maybe 2 to 3 stores. And we wanted that area, well, the town wanted that area to be developed into a commercial area. And I was glad that it was brought up, and several people brought it up. The mayor brought it up, board members brought it up, and residents brought it up, that there would be nothing to draw them to that area of Westfield Avenue if there was no other commercial in that area. And also across the street, I can't remember if that area that's going to be redeveloped was apportioned for commercial, or was it more of a business lower level? And I want to wish a happy holiday to everyone on the board, the mayor, and all the people of the town. Thank you.
Thank you, Delia.
Nancy Twaskis, Clark. I understand that we're going to have something about explaining more about the affordable housing. So if this is going to be a long-winded response, then I could maybe defer to them. But just kind of in my head, I'm trying to understand how the numbers, I add up 71 and 166 and get 237, and then all of a sudden becomes 262. That's in the satisfaction of fair share obligation. And then there's another table which says the township 166 unit of unmet need. 49 of that will be satisfied with this I guess it's the second table. So I'm trying to understand how we go from 237 to 262, and what is this other table referring to the 166 unit unit unmet need refers to.
When you're finished, I'll have the mayor or BA address it.
That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Daniel Fuchs, Clark, New Jersey. I want to congratulate Ms. Huff and Ms. Albanese on your election wins. Very impressive, and I also want to thank Bill and John for running. Important that nobody's running unopposed, so I'm happy to see that. What I wanted to speak on, I spoke on this issue before, and I know John touched on it, the NJ.com article with regards to the officers who've been on admin leave for 5 years. Yeah, it's just, I guess, startling to see the amounts. I know it's the article, and I don't know if it's true or not. Over $2 million in salary, and I'm sure we have a lot of legal fees that we're paying for this. I really can't help but think that the moment they uttered those words that they've been accused of that have caused this suspension, they should have been fired. And I guess that would have been up to Sal to do, which, of course, he was speaking the same way that they were. So I suppose that's probably why he didn't get fired. Or why they didn't get fired, and so we're stuck with this, and I don't know how much longer this will go on for and how much more money this is going to cost us, but I can't help but think what else we can be doing with that money, and I know that, I mean, it's a lot. We're a small town. I don't really know where we go from here, but I do think it's important that the residents, continue to speak on it. I'm glad to see NJ.com reporting it, and really I'm just here to express my dismay, and hopefully it gets to a resolution soon. Other than that, I wish everyone happy holidays, and I'll see everyone next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fuchs. All right, seeing no one else, I'd like a motion to close. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, come on.
My name's Gabrielle Aruda. I live on Parkway Drive in Clark. I'm a third-generation resident of Clark. Sorry for coming in late. I was watching the meeting at home with my parents and my husband. Hi, guys. Thanks for making me be an active citizen. Congratulations, Mayor Albanese. I have a business registered to Clark. I'm an art dealer. I've run physical galleries in New York and in Cranford, New Jersey, and put on exhibitions around the country. I would like to try to initiate a public arts program in Clark, and I wonder how I might ask for your help in doing that, and to how to collaborate with the Township Council to approach other businesses, particularly someone like L'Oreal, to perhaps help fund a project like that. I'm also interested in applying for a grant from the New Jersey State of the Arts Council that is due at the end of February. I need to partner with a nonprofit. I'm a for-profit business, but if there's a nonprofit in town, maybe the library or someone else, where I could, the grant is for art programming, creative art programming for the aging. And I would like to do a slow looking class on informed perception for elderly residents, and particularly residents that need memory care in town. So if you have ideas as to how I could collaborate with a nonprofit in town, or if there's a nonprofit that exists within the Township Council somehow to do that, I would appreciate it. And I'd also like to draw to your attention the recent regenerative agriculture pilot program that the USDA just announced, with $700 million of funding going for regenerative farming throughout the country. And to see this, this town used to be a very rich farming community, and we've lost most of that farming land, but there are a lot of opportunities for beginner farmers to seek this funding, and there's also opportunities for townships. We have under 20,000 residents here, so we are suitable to, eligible to apply for that funding, and to see if maybe we could create a community of backyard regenerative farmers in the historic tradition of farming in this town. We have, unless you have like really dense clay soil. We otherwise have pretty great soil for farming here, and because the environment is such an important resource here, and conserving water and protecting our water, I think that would be a nice idea, and I have no idea how to approach bringing this initiative to you guys other than coming here to bring it up. So that's it. I don't know what the follow-up is other than saying that to you, but if anyone could inform me as to who I write a letter to about any of those points, some of those are a bit more pertinent timeline-wise, like applying for that grant.
So when the meeting's over, which would probably be over in another 10 minutes or so, if you're still going to be here, if you want to just give your name and phone number and address to the clerk, and then between the clerk and Mayor Albanese and Jim, we can possibly, they'll figure out how we can direct you or possibly help you. Okay, thank you for coming out. All right, seeing no one, I'd like a motion to close this portion. Thank you, Councilman Tolgate, a second. Thank you, Councilman O'Connor. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Jim, do you have anything you want to address from the comments? Is your microphone on?
Just going through the numbers again, and, Nancy, if you want to come in, and it may be easier, stop in the office tomorrow. I know I have a busy day, and Wednesday busy day, but I'm around Thursday, if you're around. But, so we need 71 rehab units. We, in the prior obligation, it was 93. The township's third round, so that was the first and second, third round obligation was 170, making it a total obligation of 263. And out of those 263, Woodcrest was 65 rental units. We had Westfield and Terminal, which was not built. We had Raritan Road gas station, just a little bit south of Madison Hill Road for 2 that wasn't built. We had Westfield and Raritan. It was rental and built. So that's, what is it? Not Pondview, something, Brookside, that's it. It was. We had the Schifferstein site, which was 11, which wasn't built. The A&P, which is approved, which is the 21 units. The rest of the downtown village district, which was 51 units, and the A&P site, like Mayor said, gave us 21 rental bonus credits. The DTV gave us 2 rental bonus credits. Walnut Avenue site, it was the site that was built that was 28 affordable and 28 rental credits. And then we have a couple of we got 3 group homes that are 9 with 9 bonus units. So that gives us the 196 and 66.
And that all netted out to 71, because this discussion was had at the workshop meeting. I don't know if you remember that, Nancy, in March. The question was, how did we get to 237? And it was the 71 left from the second and third round. Plus, in the fourth round, we have 166. And that brought us to the 237.
But remember, for the fourth round out of the 166, we only are planning for 49 of those units. And that was, you know, that's in agreement with Fair Share, because number one, we never took a vacant land adjustment, and number two is there's not a lot of land in town. But if you want, stop in, or you could call me, you know.
Thank you. All right. Mayor Albanese, you have any closing comments?
Just regarding Delia's comments, yes, it will be the deliveries, but that would principally be people moving in or moving into the retail spaces. So the main reason for that drop-off area at the entrance is for like deliveries of Amazon, UPS, deliveries, US Post Office, so that one entrance to the facility will have no parking, so that those delivery trucks have a place to park. They're not going to be outside on the road. In addition, you have to keep in mind, we have a traffic engineer who did a study on this, as well as the developer. So they felt that that was the best location to use for those items, those deliveries, for people moving in principally, or for the retail space moving in. It shouldn't be for, it shouldn't be large trucks coming in on a regular basis, like an Amazon delivery, for example. I don't know if we have anything else that came up.
The only thing, and counsel stopped me, but right now with the police department, there was a hearing about a week and a half ago. At that week and a half ago hearing, the judge listened to both sides of the case, determine if there was in fact a violation of the police officer's rights, and is going to be issuing a written, verdict at some point in the future. We have no idea when, and that's pretty much where we are with that, and it's just following up with the story.
And there's nothing we can do about it. We have to wait for that verdict to come out.
The judicial system.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, again, it's, you know, 5.5 years, but it's been sitting with the Union County Prosecutor's Office, the Attorney General's Office, and now 18 months, or a little bit more than 18 months with the judge, right? So it's not, you know, for a lack of trying, because back in December of '23, we brought in the person who was going to adjudicate it, but we've been waiting for the, a response from the judge and all of the documentation from the Attorney General's office. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's not for a lack of us trying to put this behind us. It is weaning its way through the legal system.
Great, thank you. All right, Councilmember Huff. Oh, do you have anything else? I'm sorry, Mayor Albanese.
Yes. This Wednesday, we're having our situational self-defense seminar, which I mentioned at our last meeting. I published it on a couple of locations on my site, on Facebook, and there are flyers available in the Recreation Center. And this is for families, so if you're interested in learning about self-defense, whether it's at your home, when you're parking your car, or when you're on the street or in crowds, I hope you'll consider attending this. It's free. There will be donations accepted, which will go to the Recreation Department, so we hope that we'll have a good turnout. The doors open at 6 p.m. We'll be starting the seminar at 6:30 on Wednesday, this Wednesday, at the Recreation Center. Hope to see you there. And I'd like to wish everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate. And I look forward to seeing everyone in the new year. Wish you a Happy New Year, and I'll see you on January 5th, if not sooner.
Thank you. Councilmember Hoff.
I just want to say the breakfast with Santa was awesome. The senior luncheon was so great, and it's my most favorite day of the year with all the holiday lightings. I've never missed one on purpose, and to be on the other side of it, super selfishly, I'll say the fact that Johnny got to light the little thing will stay with me forever. His little face was super cute. But having been on the other side of it as well, to see how many people are involved in making that day happen, Ralph and the team and all the kids that volunteer, it's a Herculean effort. So I just want to say thank you, because I think it's like the cutest small town America thing that we do, and I love it so much. I'd like to commend the mayor and the business administrator for having ordinance 2537 brought forward, having 2 council meetings a month for speed and ease of action in our beautiful chambers that are here. I thought it was a great idea that clearly the entire council embraced and supported. I especially appreciate it as my family, my parents in particular, who couldn't be here today, and some of my siblings were able to watch this meeting live on YouTube and live stream it, and the messages came rolling in, so I also appreciated that. I'm absolutely honored and grateful to now have been officially elected and to be able to continue to serve all residents of my amazing hometown, that regardless of party or position, my job is to serve, and I'm looking forward to more time here. I'd like to obviously offer my huge congratulations to my fantastic ticket mate, our Mayor, Angel Albanese. Her leadership, dedication, pursuit of education, and tenacity is a great example, and I know I have very large shoes to fill. I'd like to just officially again thank my fellow council members who are generous with not only their time but their experience, and our town administration for the open doors and warm welcome from everybody. I very much appreciate that as I continue to get my feet wet. Also, a huge thank you to my husband, John, and to our children, Riley, Lucy, and Johnny, who were super on board for the interim thing, but I appreciate that you're equally on board for the 3-year thing that since followed that. I'd like to thank the DPW. For those who know, my husband is on the DPW in another town and was out overnight, and I want to thank our Clark DPW for their tireless work, and all of our emergency services that are out working while we are at home warm and eating food. I want to say congratulations as well regarding the affordable housing. It is so complicated and nuanced, and there's so much dictated to us. So I want to thank Mayor Albanese and Jim for all that you guys have done to get us to this place. And I would like to say Happy Hanukkah to all those who celebrate, early Merry Christmas, and everything else, and all my best for the end of 2025. I'm looking forward to a fantastic 2026 with all of you in our great town of Clark. But the 5-year-old in me is more excited than my kids to see Santa next weekend, and I just think it's absolutely incredible by our volunteer fire department who go out and do something like that. So cheers to that. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Hund.
Thank you, Council President. That was a tough one to follow up on with her enjoyment of all her 5-year-old excitement that she has in her. Yes. Congratulations to both her and Mayor Albanese on being sworn in tonight. It's a fantastic day to see both of you receive that recognition. To the intersection of Valley Road and Parkway Drive, as was mentioned earlier by Mr. Greaves, that was completed. There was some Facebook back and forth on that, and I apologize for not being able to respond via Facebook, because I was having some issues and still am having issues with Facebook, so I apologize for that. Thank you to our police department as they continue to do their jobs to keep the town safe and are easily accessible to us, especially Captain Ackerbull, who receives texts from me and always responds back. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And just have a happy and safe holiday season, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you. Councilman Mazzarella.
Yes, thank you, Council President. I want to congratulate Angel and Jessica for getting officially appointed as mayor and councilman at large. And I want to thank the DPW staff for their excellent job coming out on Sunday, plowing our roads pretty much curb to curb, which is very, very good. Thank you for your efforts and all. Certainly made our township safer, quicker. And to all out there, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, safe holiday, and Happy New Year. See you next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Minetti.
Thank you, Council President. I also want to congratulate Mayor Albanese and Councilwoman Hoff on their new election. Also, I want to thank all the volunteers who came out to support Project Graduation with the Wizards last week at ALJ. It was a great success in helping our seniors with their projects. Winter sports are back at ALJ. Come out December 18th for the start of basketball season when our Crusaders take on, I think it's Piscataway. No, Jay? Well, they're home Saturday, 7 o'clock. I'm sorry, the 18th, 7 o'clock. Reminder, bring all packages in. If you have any Amazon deliveries, I was watching the news on my way before I got here, and they said that there's been a lot of people taking packages off your front porches, so bring those in. And on behalf of the Clark Fire Department, myself and my family, I want to wish everyone a happy and healthy holiday season and a very prosperous 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman O'Connor.
Thank you very much. Again, congratulations to the mayor and to Councilwoman Hoff on officially being sworn in from your big election win. So looking forward to working with you guys for the remainder of your term. We have the police director here, and we have Captain Akabu here. And, there is traffic in town. I know people get frustrated. But one of the most frustrating things is when you're sitting at a traffic light and the light doesn't turn green. And the reason it doesn't turn green is because there's probably a camera on top of the traffic light. They're not red light cameras or cameras. And if you don't pull your car all the way up to the white line, it doesn't recognize that you're there, and it won't allow the light to cycle through. Police officers, am I correct? Correct. So again, it's important to pull all the way up. Now, my pet peeve is the intersection of Westfield Avenue and Mountain Road. If you don't pull up, the lights aren't going to change, and they're long lights. So again, just be mindful. If you didn't know it, now you know. And if you know, pass that information on to other people, because people do get frustrated at the light, and I know there's other lights in town, so please make sure you pull up.
Also, if you go beyond the line.
Turn your microphone on.
Mayor?
If you go beyond the line, it will not change either.
Right. So again, just please be sure to pull up to the line. Obviously, it's a holiday season. This is really when the most of the volunteering goes on in town. I mean, there's volunteers throughout the year, and we're grateful for that. But really, as the mayor and Jess and Bill talked about, with the holiday season, with the tree lighting, with all the holiday stuff that goes on in this town, so many people show up to help. And I want to thank them for that. It's amazing. People say Clark's a great town to live in, and they're right. But part of what makes this town great is the participation we get from our residents. And so I can't thank you guys enough for that, because you make it great for everybody. With that, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. Celebrate your holiday, enjoy it, and we'll see you in 2026. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Councilman Toll.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to kind of zip through some of this. First of all, Angel Albanese, number 41. That's what you will be known from now on. The great Tom Seaver was number 41. And Angel, we appreciate and congratulate to you and Jessica on doing good work. That's why the people of Clark voted for you, because you guys always, hard work pays off. You can talk about other things, hard work. And this lady puts her time in. Jessica puts her time in, and it shows. That's all I'm going to leave that at. Other things. You, young lady, you got up and you spoke. Gabrielle? Okay. Couple things. Farming. The last working farm in Clark was Esposito's. Esposito's, he passed away in 2001, and the farm ended up getting gobbled up by the county. We were trying to get it farmland preservation from the state at the time to make it a working farm where they grew the crop every year, and they gave that crop to the food banks in Union County. Instead, the County got the idea, hey, along with Mayor Sal Bonacorso, they turned around and they decided to make it a park. So we were able to prevent 800 houses being built there. So that was in 2001. The last working farm, it's a truckload farm. It's not a growing farm anymore, but it still gets farmland preservation, is the Shepperstein farm. That goes back to 1903. And the German immigrants and the Shepperstein's family still work a working truckload farm, it's called. There has been other farms. Now, to answer your question, and you brought up a very valid point about can we do more activities at our own home fronts? Yes. People in this town, which most people don't know about, you have residents in this town on Madison Hill Road, Wendell Place, who are conducting their own little farm. We have a honey farm on Wendell Place. We have another one who does eggs on Madison Hill Road, and actually another one just started doing it in the last year, who's also doing egg produce, and they sell it to their friends. But they like to do a low key. They don't like to have a bunch of eyes and ears on them because it causes problems. We had one resident doing rabbits. Okay, fine. I didn't really question it, but hey, you got a rabbit. But the neighbors started to complain because of the smell and issues. So yes, we need to do more of that. We need to explore that. You're talking about artwork. I completely agree with you, but usually when there's art involved in this township, it goes to the library, and our library is incredible. And they do art shows or different type of viewings of certain artists, and that's how that works. I'm going to give you my card. I'm not going to talk tonight because we're in the holiday mode, but I will have a conversation with you because next year we'd like to bring you to the forefront because next year is the 250th anniversary of this township, of this country. Not just the town, but 50 years ago, Pat O'Connor and I were little kids. Well, I was 14, he was a little kid. But we celebrated the bicentennial in this township, and it was a great party. And I'll be talking to our mayor and the council members about what we can do to reinvigorate the history of this township, honor the Dr. Robinson plantation, and show the real history of this town, what we were all about, that we care, that we love our community. It's called home, very simple, home. And we want to bring the arts, the farmers, the crafts, everything to one, because that's what it's going to be all about, making the next generation. We're 25 years in, and I'll get into all this on January 1st or January, whatever the next meeting is. So I'm going to just kind of wrap up, but I will have a conversation with you. I appreciate it because you brought up valid points. And any way we can help expand the arts, the farming community, expand education, because the education is for a certain age group, but they do a great job to plant the seed for tomorrow. And that's why you're up here saying, hey, I'd like to point me in the right direction. We're going to do that. Those we lost in the last month: Irene Kerpieski, a longtime resident of Dorset Drive and a neighbor and a friend. Her lost her husband a couple years ago, and that age struck Irene. Stella Pravo, a resident of Clark for 60 years. Stella lived in this town for 60 years. I've been in town 60 years, but it doesn't seem possible that one person calls Clark, New Jersey home for over 60 years. And Marjorie Evans, Mrs. Evans was 103. How do you live to 103? But she did. God bless her, and to the family. I know they're mourning the loss of a 103-year-old mom, but God bless them. All right, as I said, Mayor, 41, you've got a lot of things still lined up, and we know you're going to work hard to continue doing the people's deeds. Good deeds means good results and making a better Clark. To all, thank you, and I'm going to just finish off with this. Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy Hanukkah to all. This is our hometown. Have a healthy and happy, safe 2026.
Great, thank you. Madam Clerk, do you have anything to add?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations, Mayor and Councilwoman. On behalf of myself and Nicole and Christina, it was a pleasure working for and with you all, Mayor, BA, and Council this year, and we're looking forward to a very productive 2026. Happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you. Jim, you have anything else to add?
I do want to congratulate Jess and the mayor. Great job. I look forward to continue working with you. It's been a, Jess is, on speed dial. But no, I'm looking forward to the next 3 years working with both of you and keeping the town going in the right direction. I also want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a Happy New Year, and see everybody on the 5th.
Thank you. Mayor, you have something you want to add?
Yes, I want to thank United Airlines for getting my son here on time today. With all the people I read about on Facebook saying their flight was delayed, canceled, even to major places like New York City. But thank you, James, for being here, and for my nephew Michael, who's always our favorite nephew, my husband and I. Thank you so much. He's a Spartan. Came all the way down from Sparta. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
Counselor?
Would just like to echo the congratulations for the mayor and councilperson Hoff, and wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a very happy, prosperous, peaceful, and healthy New Year.
Great, thank you. Just in closing, I wasn't going to address the pilot program because we've spoke about that ad nauseum for the last 4 or 5 years, but I was thinking about it. I have an older daughter. She's 27. She is a middle school special ed teacher, and she's phenomenal at what she does, but she was a horrible math student. So I think back to when we were doing elementary math, and I kept saying to her, what don't you understand? 2 + 2 is 4 every day of the week. And I feel like that's what we're talking about with the pilot program. The pilot program is a tool that the state came up with to help spur development. And without the pilot programs, the developers would never come into this town to build some of these developments. The pilot programs draws them in. It gives them a little bit of a savings because of the amount of affordable housing they have to put in there where they're going to lose income. And if you don't think they're going to lose income, then I suggest to people who are against pilot programs go to developers and say, you'll foot the bill for the money they're going to lose in the decrease in the rents for those other apartments. The pilot programs that we have agreed with are phenomenal deals for the town. It's trying to get development in here. If we didn't agree to the pilot program for this AMP property, it would sit there for another 20 or 30 years. Mr. Greaves, you get up here all the time telling us the downtown looks horrible, you guys don't know what you're doing. We're doing everything we can possibly do with the tools we're giving in a small town environment to try to draw people here to build and develop. And that's one of the tools we use. At the end of the day, the school comes to us with a budget and says, I need $10. They get their full $10. We don't give them $9.50, we don't give them $11.50. We give them the $10. We give them what they ask for and what they need to run the schools. We're flexible. If they need more money, they're going to call Mayor Albanese or they're going to call our BA and say, hey, we need a little bit more money. Can you help us? And at that time, we will. Our pilot programs, we can adjust them at certain points throughout the agreements, correct? Jim?
There's nothing to stop us from giving them additional, other than, obviously, we'd have to do an ordinance or resolution and give them the additional money, but there's nothing from stopping us from making any changes in the future.
Right. And the other thing with the pilot programs, at our last meeting, we got hit with a couple $100,000 worth of tax appeals that the county's not helping us with. We're absorbing the whole thing. The school's not giving us money back for that. We're absorbing a couple $100,000. So the pilot program helps us compensate for the money we lose on the tax appeals. Now, the tax appeals have been pretty quiet the last few years because of COVID, but now the courts are finally getting caught up, and I believe we're going to be getting hit with a few more in the near future. Correct, Jim?
We are currently negotiating a couple more, one a big one.
Yeah. So the money we get from the pilot programs will help us. So we still give the schools their 52, 55% of what we agree to and collect in a pilot program. We give the county their 5%, but we get to keep that extra 20% plus our tax, which is another 20, 21, 22%. And I just don't know what else to say about the pilot program. I think I'm starting to stutter because I've been saying the same thing for the last 2-3 years now. So I think I'm going to end it on that. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy Healthy New Year, and we'll see you all on January 5th. Thank you. Motion to close. Thank you, Councilman Toll, second. Councilman Hund, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Have a good night.